Colonial Puppet, and it's been a while since I did the series, and I apologize for that. I got caught up with stuff, but I think this is part 10 of my Let's Build an Airport series, the airport hotel segment of this whole giant Let's Build that I'm doing. And as you can see, some things have been done to the hotel since we last left off, or since I last left off on this Let's Build. There is now 4 extra stories to this building, which is pretty cool. Big thanks to Mothman, New York Skyscrapers, and Juicy Taz for helping me out building the other 4. Is it 4? Yeah, 4 stories. Like I said when I left off, that there's going to be 5 stories with rooms in them, like rooms that you can rent out. There'll be the lobby, and the last floor is going to be like a commons area with like a pool and all that cool stuff. And that's what I'm going to be building this episode. And you've probably noticed that some other things have happened other than the stories. Some exterior changes have occurred. And I was kind of an idiot. I debated on whether or not I should record me doing that, but that would have taken a really long time. And I really wasn't doing it in a way that would help anyone, if that makes sense. But I feel like I should have at least recorded something, and I feel bad for that. So I'm just going to give you a rundown of what I did for those of you who are following along, which is actually a lot of you. I wasn't expecting, partly that's why I kind of skipped this. I really didn't know how many people were actually following this along step by step. Like I said, this is I usually think of these as, I call them Let's Builds and not tutorials, because I'm just kind of going along, not really expecting, but a lot of people, not really expecting anyone to build along, but a lot of people are, and I apologize for doing this without showing you what I did. But before I added all this, it was pretty much just this. Like, this is how it would look. I built out the 2 for the thing, and that's how it was all the way up. So what I did was I just kind of extended the entire length of the building like this, 2 blocks out with clay, and and then on the last window, I kind of skipped the last window and did vertical 2 blocks of clay spanning out of the building like this. Did it on either end like this. So there's that window. And when this kind of ends, the 2 block ends, I kind of just did this 1 block thing where I just kind of followed the groove of the window. As you can see, it's the 2 by 2 by 4 window. I just kind of put it over the outer of the 2 in the 2 by 4. If that makes any sense. Sorry, I'm kind of like having a hard time explaining this, but I did that, took it straight to the ground like that, and went all the way up, and it does this every time there's one of these in the windows. So like, normally it would look like, I'll just do it to this floor. Damn it, I broke the thing. Normally it would look like this, but I just did this. Like that. And I did that to every floor. And as you can see, I put a vertical 2 block wide or 2 block long support beam looking thing made out of clay. Every I don't know how many, every 1, 2, 3, 4, every 4 windows. So pretty much centering the doorway area each time like that. See, it's pretty even, except on the ends it cuts off the last window. I think it does it for this end too. Or actually it doesn't on the end. On this end it doesn't cut off this balcony at all. It's only on this end and this end that it does it. But those 2 far ends over there doesn't cut off the balcony. Like, and if you don't know what I'm saying, see, 1, 2, 3, 4, but over here it only has 1, 2, 3. So, yep, that's what it looks like. I'm going to kind of just look at it like, or I'll find an easier place. I'll look at it like this so you guys can kind of get a look on how I did it. Kind of zoom around, zoom up and down, like so. Boom. Do 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 do. And I'll explain the stone slabs in a second. So that's what I did. And same thing on like what I was talking about with this 1 block long kind of thing I put on the corners of the building. I did the same thing right here. Really, it's not. It may look like kind of complicated, but it's really not. I just kind of covered the clay that was already kind of exposed last episode. I just covered that and ran these up like so you could kind of look at that. That's what that looks like, and I did the same thing here. Boom. And I'm just kind of gonna pan around and show everyone what I did, so they don't get lost, like that. And the stone slabs are easy. Here, I'll just give you a freeze of what I did. I just put two horizontal kind of bars of stone slabs on the bottom of the top block and the bottom of the second to the top block, and then I extended out this bottom beam, starting with this beam and ending with this beam, so kind of covering the door, kind of made like a little covering to, I don't know, protect them from the rain, even though this top, it's more aesthetic than it is functional. But yeah, that's what I did. And again, I want to apologize for not filming this. In hindsight, I know I probably should have, or at least left one, like I could have left this wall blank and just done it in this episode. But I got too excited to work on the very last floor that I just kind of blew through it, not really thinking straight. But anyway, let's get started on the top floor. This top floor is going to be pretty cool because it's going to be the area with the pool and everything, and that's not the right type of block. Quartz. Boom, boom. I'm going to make it 8 blocks high. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Since it's the last floor, I don't really need it to match up with the stairs, because the stairs are built to match up every 6 blocks. So if I made any floor that was more or less than 6 blocks, the stairs wouldn't match up with the floors, and it would be a big mess. But since this is the last floor, I don't really need it to mix or match up with anything, which is just fine. But yeah, I'm just going to extend all of these vertical things up like so. Like I said, 8 blocks. And I'll give you the dimensions of the building in a sec, because a lot of people were asking for that, the dimensions of the building. I will actually count out the dimensions of the building. I'm not sure how, but I will. And if I don't make it to that, or I'll that'll definitely be this episode for those of you who are wondering. But yeah, the reason why I wasn't really doing the Let's Builds, I kind of stopped putting them out. I stopped at 9, which was the last one, obviously. And I was planning to record 10, 11, 12, the ones that I'm doing right now, like a couple weeks ago. But unfortunately, I had a lot of work. Where I work is, like, the hours are kind of fluctuating. And I probably went over this before, but yeah, we had a lot of work, a lot of conferences I had to do work for, setting up all their computers and stuff. So, unfortunately, I was a slave to our clients' schedules, and there's a lot of clients doing conferences where I worked, and I had to help with that. But this week, there's pretty much no one, since it's pretty much a holiday week. 4th of July is coming up. Which is going to be fun. Except I live in a part of the country where they don't like fun, so I don't get to buy fireworks that go off the ground. Those are illegal here, which sucks. Where you need a special license to have fireworks that shoot off the ground. So pretty much what we have are like stupid little sprinkler things that like shower sparks from the ground. And they're all terrible. Where I used to live, I lived in the South for like 8 years of my life when I was little. And they were super lenient on fireworks. So we had the best fireworks. Like there would be ones that... My favorite was like this box of like crayon looking things. It was like a little box with like 100 or so like 10 by 10 square of like these little crayons. And each crayon was a little missile that would just like shoot off in the air and just explode. Like there wasn't any pretty colors, it would just blow up. It's pretty fun. Say what you want about the South. They're racist and whatnot. That's not true. I lived in Arkansas, which parts of it is really racist, but the place I lived in was pretty progressive. It was a university town, so not a lot of hillbilly action going on there. But there are places in Little Rock, or not Little Rock, Arkansas. I didn't live in Little Rock, I lived in Fayetteville, which was where the University of Arkansas is. My dad worked like across the street from the football stadium, which apparently has like the largest TV scoreboard like out of any college in the country, which is interesting. I don't know why I'm talking about this, just kind of avoiding dead air right now, but yeah. That was the kind of place I lived in when I was little, and it was fun. The fireworks were awesome, and I had a lot of fun lighting them. And I actually visited not too long ago and like brought home a bunch of fireworks and just like would take some over to my friends. I wasn't supposed to take any fireworks, like my parents had a stash, and I like took a couple firecrackers and like went over to my friend's house, and we would attach them to like skateboards and stuff and like do tricks while there's like fireworks going off. It's pretty fun. I don't know. Until one of us got burned. I'm not sure if, I don't remember if any of us got burned. I think someone got burnt, but obviously not like horrid, like 3rd-degree burns over 30% of their body. Like, no. They weren't that big. Or at least the ones we had. There were some big ones, like, there were firecrackers, and then they had, like, jumbo firecrackers, which were, like, pretty much like little sticks of dynamite. I think I took a couple of those and took them over to my friend's house. And, like, he had a bunch of, like, spiders. And this is kind of cruel what we did, but I don't know, we were kids. What are you gonna do? But we would take spiders and throw them in this, like, Maxwell House coffee can. And then... Alright, something just happened with my computer. It's weird. I'm using GarageBand to record my audio, and I had the blue snowball selected, which is the mic I'm using. The snowball. I'm pretty sure anyone who's interested in doing commentaries knows of the blue snowball. It's like the USB mic of choice. But my computer's an idiot, and even though GarageBand already had it selected as the input device, I'm pretty sure it's the input. It was acting like it just now detected it for some reason, and like stopped my recording and was like, "We detected a blue snowball. Would you like to use it as your audio driver, even though you're already using it as your audio driver?" I don't know. Macs are stupid once they reach a certain age. I'm using a pretty old computer, and it screwed up my recording, so I had to restart, or not restart. I had to start up again. So sorry for that weird, awkward edit. But anyway, I was talking about spiders in Maxwell House cans. I would put them in Maxwell House coffee cans and throw a stick of dynamite, pretty much the giant firecrackers that we got from Arkansas. Throw those in there with the spiders and blow up spiders. Because we were horrible children. And we're cruel to animals. But I'm not cruel to spiders anymore. Because I live in the basement. And actually, that's a lie. There are... Well, actually, no, it's not a lie. Because I really don't kill the spiders in the basement. I just kind of throw them outside. But unfortunately, I usually throw them out. They usually come out when it's cold for some reason. And so I throw them outside, and they most likely freeze. But, my basement has a bunch of, like, little spiders that would crawl around. And there's a spider that I named the Grim Reaper because it, like, set up shop. It, like, built this web, like, in this one corner of the room, of my room in the basement, and would just eat all the other spiders. So I called him the Grim Reaper, and he was the coolest spider ever because he would kill all the other annoying spiders that, like, if he didn't eat them, I'd probably wake up and they'd probably be crawling on me or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, Grim Reaper was a good spider until my dingus dad caught him and fed him to one of our lizards. We have lizards, green anole lizards. That's like their name, or their species, or type of lizard they are. And they eat spiders. And we have them in cages, so we usually buy their food, but when, like, we don't have time, we just, like, find spiders and, like, put them in cups and feed it to them. My dad came in the basement and fed the Grim Reaper to one of our lizards, and I was really sad. And that was the end of poor Grim Reaper. Now there's a crap load of spiders in my basement, thanks to my dad. But alright, I'm not really changing anything that I did on the last floors, other than that instead of 6 blocks high, this last floor is now 8 blocks high. I probably said that 10 times, but I don't just want to drive that fact home for any of you that are following along trying to build this. And once I'm done doing all this clay stuff, I don't know if I'm going to wait until I don't know if I'm going to wait until I put the roof over to do the interior. I probably am. I'm just going to do the exterior, and then I'm going to do the, interior, or what was I talking about? I just kind of lost my train of thought. But anyway, I'm going to put the roof over and then do the interior, but for this episode, I'm just going to do the exterior and all that good stuff. And, yeah. I should probably be editing this part out. I'm not. I'm almost done. But yeah. It's gonna... I don't know if the roof is just gonna be flat, or if I'm gonna do, like, a fancy, like, I forget what the type of roof is called. We learned what type of roof, like, like house roofs, like they're kind of angled up into, like, a little pyramid-like thing. There's a name for that, and I learned it in my architecture class, and completely forget what kind of roof that's called, but there we go, the last floor, hooray. It actually looks pretty cool. I was planning on doing some more clay stuff to it, but it looks kind of cool like that. Just kind of plain. But what I am going to do is this. I'm going to put the roof on this part. I'm actually going to make the roof flat. So what I'm going to do is this. Make it 3 blocks high. That's probably going to look nice. I'm going to get some fancy splash potion. Don't need glass right now. I'm actually going to fill these windows with glass instead of glass panes. I don't know, just to make it different than all the other floors. That, and I think looking out of glass blocks is a lot easier than looking out of glass panes. And I think you get a better look, or a better view, with glass blocks. I could be wrong, but that's kind of just what I've found. and therefore that's what I'm going to use. Because, I don't know, no matter how tall the building is, I always like to have the last floor be like a nice like observation floor, almost kind of floor. So even if it's like a 2-story building, I always make the last floor like with big windows that people can look out of, get a good view of the city, even if it is, like I said, like two stories high. But yeah, or that's like one big like rule to building a nice looking skyscraper. Always have the top floor look different than all the other floors. And obviously that varies from building to building, but like usually a lot of buildings I see that like I guess people would describe as bad would be buildings that are just the same floor plan all the way up, and even on the last floor there's like nothing different from the rest of the floors and the last floor. And if you look at most buildings, the last floor is usually like has some like either a height difference than all the other floors, or is like the windows look different or something like that. And sometimes it's super subtle, like sometimes it's just like a different type of window on the last floor. But buildings are more aesthetically pleasing than when you put like a different looking last or different looking top floor. I don't know. At this point I'm just kind of rambling on, but I'm almost done. I may actually just stop here. I honestly have no idea how long I've been doing this episode, but now's a good time to stop. I will give a look at the building. There's the building. Looks pretty nice, yeah. And next episode I will I almost burped in the mic. Next episode I'll put in the windows and the lighting and start with the interior. And that will be it pretty much. Then I think the last episode is going to be dealing with some like outdoor stuff, landscaping and whatnot. Here we go. Titan International Airport. Boom. The hotel. Looking pretty good. Alright, this has been Colonial Puppet. And before I sign off, I will quick give you the dimensions of the building, like I said I would. So the dimensions of the building is from this pillar, the corner pillar, to this corner pillar over here, 63 blocks. 63 or 62. I'm pretty sure it's 63 blocks from boom here to boom here. And from here to here, this corner pillar to this corner pillar, it is 31 blocks. So from boom to boom, 31 blocks. Here to here, this pillar to this pillar, it's 10 blocks. This pillar to this pillar is, I forget, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 blocks. So boom, 8 blocks. So 10, 8, and this little protruding area with the stairwell is 13 blocks wide. And again, 8 blocks, 10 blocks, 10, 8, 13, 8, 10. And then 63. And this whole area as a whole from that corner to that corner is 31 blocks. So there you go. And again, I'll just do it again. 63 from here to here, and 31 blocks from here to here. This corner block right here. From here to here, it is 10 blocks. From here to here, it is 8 blocks. From here to here, it's 13 blocks, and it's pretty much the same on this side. 8 and then 10. There you go. And of course, there's all this stuff on the side that kind of mess with the dimensions, but honestly, if you know the core dimensions of pretty much the building without any fancy stuff on the exterior, you can just you don't really need the dimensions to know how to build this. Because again, just comes out 1 block and this comes out 2 blocks. You don't really need to know the dimensions of the building to do it right. You just have to know that It's supposed to kind of center the balcony areas like this. And I'll go in again. Here are the rooms. Obviously, boom. Each room is four windows. See, and yep, that's pretty much it. If you have anything else that you guys have questions about, let me know in the comments of this Let's Build, and I will be sure to try and answer them as best as I can. Again, this has been Colonial Puppet. Be sure to check out the next episode once it comes out, and all the previous episodes once they come out. And other than that, that's all I have to say. This has been Colonial Puppet. Have a good day.